Let me just start off by saying welcome to Zod's Vendetta TV. It's been a while since I've been on here. Last time I was, heavily on the races, just pointing out simple things, and the most obvious. And, for the most part, I got a lot of flag. People are trying to deflect and call me a racist because I was pointing out some of the stupidity behind racism and the fact that in 2026 it makes absolutely no sense. And for the most part, there's a lot of people that's against it. Nobody really cares to want to experience that or involve themselves in that, especially the I'll say Gen Z, the millennials, whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of people that just don't want to deal with that. They want to live, I won't say in harmony, but they just want to live peaceful. Yeah, they don't want to deal with the riffraff of any particular ethnic group. Because what's the use of putting yourself in a place that you could quite possibly get taken victim of? But that's in every race. Every ethnicity has that particular group that's they consider unsavory. Some relish in it. Some are able to move around in it because they've been around it so long it doesn't affect them. And some try their best to get money and move up out of the situation, which makes it kind of sucks because they move out of that and move into a place where they're not really wanted in the first place, but people would rather assimilate than to face the hardships of growing up in what you would consider the ghetto or the slums or whatever you want to call it, in a place that's not too savory, especially for people that want to live different. Now, we're not going to get into that because I'm not going to go in and point out the merits of those who are doing good and those are doing bad. Really doesn't make I won't say what doesn't make any sense, but it's not gonna really help anything. Like, I can point out a lot of whites that are doing bad things and that are just trash, and I can point out a lot of blacks that are doing things that are good and the other ones that are just trash. And then I can point out same with Hispanics and any other ethnic group that has touched the United States. And you don't even have to touch the United States. So a lot of them are in other countries doing the same exact thing, where it's a lot more stringent and they don't do the whole incarcerate you. They just put you to rest and they never have to deal with you again. There's a lot of countries that do that. But so the people that want to partake in criminal activities risk a lot more than just simple a slap on the wrist and see you in 30 days. So with that being said, let me just talk about what I want to talk about, because the whole thing will revolve around this dude, Chud the Builder. Now, Chud the Builder is, in fact, he's one of those guys that likes to antagonize black Americans, and it's not like he's one of those that just antagonize other people. He primarily, not even primarily, his whole sole focus is on those who are black, and then anybody that covets them or may take their side in his rants, in his outright disrespect of black Americans. And he likes to point out the fact that when you do address him, even if you're addressing him in a calm manner, which most blacks that he has came across are not really looking to engage him. They know what he's trying to do. They know that he likes to point, push buttons. So they choose to avoid him rather than engage him. And the thing about Chud is he's not one of those white dudes. Like, here in California, you might run into a white dude that's really outright racist, and he's willing to go there with you, like, regardless of the situation. If you cross his path, there could be an altercation, but it's no hiding behind. He's not gonna tell you, oh, I got a gun, unless he's one of these Karen type dudes. But like, for the most part, like, especially in the street, the white dudes that I've come across, they usually, if it's gonna be issue, and that's the thing, a lot of them have been racist, but they don't go out of their way to engage you. They really want to just go on about their business. They don't really want you in their space, but they're going about their business. But those are the ones that, if they do choose to engage you, it's gonna go there. It's not gonna be like, oh, I got a gun. I mean, they're not gonna even tell you that. They're not gonna give you any heads up that they got any type of weapons that's gonna harm you. They're just gonna go with the situation, and if it goes there, either it's going to stay fisticuffs, or they're going to stump you, or they're going to do something. If they get the upper hand on you, they're going to do what they got to do to make sure you don't get back up. But they know the rules of engagement in California. So, which is the most part, if you engage somebody, and in a lot of other states, I know it's the same, but in California in particular, this it's like, it's pretty much do or die because nobody really likes anybody. But with that being said, so let's go back to Chud the Builder. See, Chud the Builder is one of those antagonistic individuals that his whole sole purpose is to get Black Americans to respond to him. And I've always took him as a joke. That's why I've never covered him, never really paid too much attention to him. I found this stupidity to be laughable, especially when he's like, oh, they're chimping out. Like, I've seen that so much on cave dweller channels, the ones that are far right. And I'm right, but I'm not. You're just a different you're a different type of I won't say human being, because the way you think, a human could never think on that. You know what I mean? Anybody that cares about, but that's beyond. We're not getting into that. The whole thing is Chud the Builder. The whole reason I brought him up is because I knew eventually he would get what's coming to him, and unfortunately he didn't get exactly what he had coming to him, because it's not like the other person that he was provoking was able to do it to him. The last time I said, I think it's in Tennessee, he was outside the courthouse, which I just read, I think today and yesterday or something like that, where he went up to an individual and started to do his typical routine. And this guy, coming from Chud's mouth, that this guy said that he's having PSD and blah blah blah, and told that fool Chud to get out his face, and Chud got out his face, and this fool, the other individual, start punching on him anyway, which was like, well, we know that dude never likes to leave anybody's presence. He'll continue to antagonize you in hopes that you'll respond. And he's only been getting bolder. Like, you notice at first he would just threaten that he has a gun or he has bear spray, and he would never use it. He would just threaten people because he knew for the most part people weren't really trying to engage him. They found it more as a comic. Not like a comic as a comedian, but just somebody that's stupid and not really aware of exactly how far to go if somebody takes it as disrespect. That's besides the point. So outside of the courthouse, I guess he did get into it with the individual. The individual felt disrespected. He warned them. Bob the builder decided to continue to antagonize this dude, and then one thing led to another. Allegedly the dude punched on him, and when he punched on him, Bob the builder got scared, pulled a weapon, allegedly shot him in the stomach, and then after he shot him in the stomach, he said that the guy continued to punch on him. Like, he didn't give up after that. So somehow in the midst of that, in the scuffle, he ended up shooting his own self in the arm, which is just stupidity. That's why they have gun laws in place for people that don't know how to discharge their weapon properly. Because you would figure, like, it's like when I see most white people, not to disrespect you, but when I see most white people from like back south, I won't say they're marksmen and like that, but I would say a lot of them know exactly how to handle their guns. Like, they practice on it. They teach their kids to be able to use them. They do all this. So it's not a stretch to say they're more than efficient at using their weapons. They train for it. Their whole thing is about guns, family, and protecting their family, and that's the ones not, I'm not gonna get into that, but so they basically know how to use a gun, and they should have told this dude Chud and not informed him, but showed him exactly how to use his, because it was obvious. Like, if an individual punches you and you get the shot off on him and you hit him in his stomach, that's really gonna slow down all this momentum, depending on really what type of gun you hit him with. I'm assuming you didn't go with a little pocket rocket. You probably had something that was big enough to give him an idea that you could take his life. But regardless of the situation, allegedly he shot the dude in the stomach. The dude continues to engage him and continue to punch him about the head and face and whatever, and that was it. That's all I really heard about that. But the whole reason I'm covering this video is just to point out the fact, this is what I'm saying. This is the people are no longer scared of you fools that have racist not only opinions, but just any type of real intentions to inflict harm. That people are not going to continue to let you say what you feel like you need to say. Like, you guys are not that tough for anybody to really fear you in that manner. Everybody bleeds and everybody can get unalived, so nobody's really fearing that at all. And it's been proven multiple times that you're not the only ones that carry weapons. The thing, the benefit that Chud the Bitter had is his complexion, is what allowed him to do what he did for so long. But even that, like this, I'm hoping that this wakes him up, because it's a chance that he might not get out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's a real chance that, oh, come on. I can't believe that. But yeah, it's a real chance that he may not get out, because you can't claim self-defense. Like, I guess they have a law out there. If you provoke somebody into hitting you, and then you know, I don't know if it's discharge a weapon or do something of that nature, that it's not considered self-defense, because you're provoking him to engage you. So let's just, I don't wish jail on nobody, but let's just hope that Chud the Builder has a wake-up call. I'm hoping, and this is not to be negative, that he gets on the street and he meets the justice that he deserves, because people like that, karma always bites, and it bites hard. And either he's going to get bit in jail, because the whites are going to see that he's just really not that person, and they'll find you out. Or he's going to get back on the street and continue to do the same thing, feeling emboldened, and he's going to get unalived. And then people will be better off, because they don't have to deal with Chud the Builder, which that's not going to stop anything. People will continue to do what they do, because there's a lot of idiots out there that feel like it's their right to say it. Like, it's your right to have freedom of speech, but it's also within it, there's consequences to being able to express yourself in a disrespectful manner. It happens all the time. So don't be surprised if this fool does get unalived, and then there's another copycat pop out, because there's a lot of them that do stupid stuff, you know, everything from talking about hair to all types of stuff, and they just go out of their way to antagonize black people and say certain things about Hispanics. But for the most part, they like to attack black Americans, and they're finding out that it's nothing sweet. A lot of them, if you see them on social media, getting put to sleep. Not only unalive, but they're getting put to sleep. You know, I could give Chud the Builder, if he did like those two guys, the ones that dressed up like Klan members and walked through Georgia and got unalived. Like, I could give him credit if he did that. If you're really looking to throw your life away to prove a point that we chimp out, then go there. Go to when they're having, you know, you guys can go to churches and unalive regular people. Go to a situation like that where it's some type of black festival, and it's back south and everybody's strapped in, and then go try it. Guarantee he would have got laid out. Obviously, you see, he can't even shoot for himself. He shot himself in the arm. He probably panicked. The first hit shocked him. He probably like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Saw that black dynamite and just froze up. Oh my God, this guy's gonna kill me. That's probably what he felt like. He probably felt like his life was over. So he chose to pull a weapon instead of just fighting. You should have fought. But you're looking to do that. But don't, I'd say this to say all that. I say all that to say this. He is a plan. He's not only a plan, but dude is purposely put in place. Somebody behind him is pushing him forward. Don't think that he just got out there one day and just like decided to do it. They probably heard his little rhetoric and little small chats that they and seen that they could push him to do worse and talk about worse. So don't be surprised if once he gets unalived that another one pops up. They're purposely doing this, dog. Like, they're purposely doing it. They're doing it for a reason, because they're failing. And then the people that they've created, as far as like giving life, no longer want to do the same thing that they did. The end of Dixiecrats is nearly over. The racism will always be there, but it's the people that really wholeheartedly support it is starting to falter. You got people that were skinheads turning turning a new leaf. They no longer want to live like that. They finally had a chance to really get around people and see that it's just not that bad. Yeah, you're gonna have bad apples in every group, but they're seeing that you can actually do your thing with them and not have to worry about it. You know, the scary people, you're always gonna be scary. But for the other part, you got white dudes that live in black neighborhoods and fight like cats and dogs, get their respect, and it is what it is. Do you think if you went to jail right now in California as a white man, that you're not gonna have to earn your respect, dude? Their program is stringent, and if you come in acting like a fake racist, they're gonna weed you out, and then you're gonna be one of them fools that you're down, and that's gonna be you, dog. Trust me, I've seen it happen. They weed you out, dog. They don't like, if you're gonna really be about it, you gotta be about it. They'll find out. But anyways, man, shout out to Chud the builder for taking that shot from himself. And let's just hope that next time you do it, either you know, let's just hope the next time it ain't just you that actually, you know what I mean? And that's all I'm gonna really say on that. Shout out to Chud the builder. Hopefully I get a rest in peace shirt, you know what I mean? And I'm done.